What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 114 of the Rise to Glory here with Gibraltar Apex. And well, episode 114 has come around very, very quickly. It feels like it's becoming a mouthful to say the number at the start of every episode, but I feel like I have to keep a mental count in my head. I still can't believe the ongoing support you guys are giving on this series. It's been absolutely insane. Today we're going to be taking on Juventus. Hopefully we can get a good result here. We may also do the follow-up game against Zenit, just depending on results. I need to work out how things are going to work out, because currently in the group stage, as you know, if you've been following this season so far, we're looking pretty good on 7 points. And if we were to win this game, the next few games are kind of pointless, because we're guaranteed a top 2 finishing to finish outside the group stage. If we were to lose this game and Feyenoord or Zenit win, then yeah, it might be worth our while to live com the next match. Either way, let's see how we get on here. Since the last episode, just 2 games to tell you guys about real quick. It's actually been a little while. You can see here, it's been about 2 weeks. There's been a set of international games, I believe. Has there been a set of... No, there hasn't. I'm a liar. There's a set of international games coming up, though. But you can see here, we beat Angels 7-0. That was a really good performance. Mooley getting a hat-trick on off the bench. Elmo getting 2. Pereira with 2-2. And then we played College Europa, where we won again 2-0, and Elmo getting another 2. The Brazilian, a player who, when he joined us, he was a little bit injured. He's kind of fought through that. He's on a lot of money, but he's coming good for us. He's got 7 goals in the league. Yet to make a real impact for us in the Champions League, but he's only ever come on off the bench. But a player who I definitely rate, and I definitely think has something to offer for us. Either way, let's get into today's game against Juventus. There is a little bit of squad news. And that news is injuries. Tuzon and Frigier are still out injured, but the new injury to be aware of is Paul Smith, who is currently out for, you can see here, 8 to 2 weeks with a back strain. So not ideal there. Helic also out injured at the moment. I can't remember what his injury was now. Oh, a sprained ankle. You can see there. He's a big player for us, Helic. Part of me wants to put him on the bench just as an option, but I think his fitness is just a little bit too low for my liking to kind of do that. In terms of the team, this is what I'm thinking we're going to go with. Young, Romero, Mustafa, Villalba, Graphite, Pereira, Bouchard, Taquez, Fielos, Elmo and Austin. Perhaps the unique name here being Fielos, the young kind of left winger from Ecuador who we signed this year. We paid £4.7 million for him, so I do want to give him first team football. And he's played quite well when we've called upon him in the league for the 1 game we did. He got 2 assists. We're going to give him a chance here, I think, on the big stage. There is a debate to say play Cabral instead. Cabral probably a slightly better player, and actually now that I mention it, I'm now weighing up in my mind whether or not it might be worth switching them. You can see the 2 players have fairly different strengths. Fialos is a lot better on the break, he's got slightly better mentals, whereas Cabral is a very technically gifted player. Of course, that is not the only decision we've had to make in this team, because with there being the injury to Helic, it's meant that we have had to change things a little bit in the final third. And if we look at our team here, as you can see, Elmo and Austin going to start for, and Austin, of course, had a somewhat disappointing appearance recently in the Champions League. I'm hoping he can put that behind him today. He's looked very good this year, really, the Australian, with the exception of that 1 game against Feyenoord, where he struggled to find the back of the net. And we are going to be starting Elmo for today's game, who, as I mentioned, hasn't started in the Champions League yet, but he's going to get a chance to do so here. He's impressed me in the league, deserves a chance. We're also going to play Taco at centre defensive mid. Not necessarily the usual player to play there, but JJ's been a little bit underwhelming in the defensive midfielder role, and I think Taco is a more than adequate replacement to come into the team and really prove himself. Did come on off the bench in one of our previous Champions League games. Of course, Romero also in the squad, that due to Frigier's injury, but the Argentine, a very competent defender, hoping he can do the job for us today. So with that said, with that the team kind of run down, let's get into this game. It's away from home. Apparently a draw is on the cards, although Juventus apparently by far and away the favourites from the match odds, but the pundits, they think it's going to be another draw. You can see that both teams could win actually a point. Oh, okay, so if we were to draw against each other and the other team's draw, we'd actually both go through? Is that the case? Huh. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I'm not sure if that's correct. I guess it might be due to head-to-head. Either way, let's see what we can do here. It looks like they're going for a very similar system to how they played before. We, of course, are sticking with a similar system to how we played them before. But it's, of course, worth noting that we are significantly weaker, perhaps, with the absence of Paul Smith and a few other players in our team. You know, we are lacking a few of the big boys. Frigier is a player who we do miss. Romero, yes, he's a fantastic centre-back, but he is not as good as Frigier. Elsewhere on the pitch, you know, left wing position, we are looking a little bit weaker. And even up front, Helik has been a massive, massive addition to the side in the summer, the Polish international. And, well, to not have him, I want to say it's problematic. We do have more than adequate replacements to come in for him. But as much as it's not problematic, it is just a nuisance, I guess. It leaves us weaker, undeniably weaker, and we are going to perhaps struggle a little bit more as a result. Either way, they're on the attack here. Del Sol, I think, is playing for them. Number 21. Walter, you have just been involved in a goal against us. You traitor. You absolute traitor. You £20 million mercenary. Disgraceful. Kind of nice to see former players on the pitch, though. As much as I joke about them being mercenaries. And, well, Juventus going to make it 1-0 here. A set piece that just wasn't cleared by us. A little bit of disorganisation in the defence. The pass comes through. I don't know who that is there. Romero probably shouldn't have let the ball come through him there. I think Mustafa also went ball chasing there, which isn't great. Anyway, 35 minutes gone. This game's had one chance so far after 40 minutes. It's been a fairly close game, both teams having chances. We're yet to have a shot on target. Could this be the time to find that shot? Pereira, Graphite, crosses it straight into the keeper's hands. A disappointing ball in, and Dragowski just going to collect it. Walter Del Sol, I'm going to keep you highlighted, son, so we can see if you're involved in the play again. Either way, ball over the top. Romero, nice interception. Mustafa, Pereira, give the ball over the top to Austin. Let Austin chase Del Sol. Walter, screw up. Bad back pass. Pereira coming through. Can he get a ball into the box? Back post. Elmo might be there. Oh, he's offside. He's offside. He's found the back of the net, to be fair, the Brazilian. I think it was a bit of a defensive blunder that let him in. Unfortunately for us, the assistant flag on the near side denying him the goal there. Good to tell the players I expect to see a better second half from them. They're looking fired up and motivated, which is good to see. I feel like we weren't outclassed in this first half. Again, I feel like that was a concern that we eradicated perhaps in the first game against Juventus this year, that we might be outclassed like we were against Man City and Bayern Munich. This year against Juventus, of course, in the last game, we went toe-to-toe with them, and we've done that so far here, but we are going to find ourselves 2 goals down, which is a little bit concerning away from home, because this can definitely snowball. We're going to make some changes, I think, though. I'm going to mix things up a little bit. Elmo, he's not had the best game, but neither has Nick Austin. And I think it's Nick who I'm going to move out the way potentially. Yeah, it is. I feel like Elmo's a better advance forward for us to have. And we're going to go on the attack. We're going to move Mora into the side at centre, attacking mid. Cabral is going to come in out on the left. And yeah, we're going to switch to a 4-2-3-1. We've got to go for it. It's a bit of a gamble. It will probably backfire horrifically, but there is no point in sitting on the back foot at 2-0 down away from home in a group stage game. You know, the head-to-head record is basically Juventus's for the win. Like, we're not losing anything by going more attacking, because our head-to-head record, you know, it's not goal difference separating us because we drew the first game. It's literally the result. You know, if we'd beaten Juventus in the first game, there might be a tendency to try and shut up shop, even whilst a goal down. But that is not the case here. Let's see what we can do. They've got the ball at the edge of the box. It's another set piece that we're just not dealing with. We're not getting it out to safety. You know, we're not getting it out off the pitch when we need to. And Young, what a save there, keeping us in this game, the Swedish international in goal. Villalba with a foul there. Please don't get sent off for that. It did look like a little bit of a naughty tackle. He has got a yellow card for it. 30 minutes left in the game. I believe that is the first yellow card for us. We will deal with the set piece, but there is another corner coming in. Walter Del Sol at the back post. Don't do it, Walter. Don't you dare. Park Shin, the South Korean. Just don't give it to Walter. All I ask is that Walter doesn't score. Pereira with a stupid foul, really. Park Shin now with a set piece. It's been coming. They hit the woodwork. We get it clear. Now can we break away? We actually have a few players here on the break, but that is poor by Pereira running down the line. Gives the ball immediately away. It's just been a pretty disappointing performance, this one, really. We have one change left. I'm going to bring in Mulu for Elmo, get a fresh pair of legs up at the spearhead of our attack on the pitch. All 3 subs made fairly early by us this game, 27 minutes gone, but I kind of feel like it's necessary in a game where we're chasing it like we are. You'd have to say, looking at the stats, we're not completely out of this. 1 goal would make things interesting, and Mulu might have a chance here. Shoots, keeper with the stop, and well, he's come on to score goals. He's had a chance there, and he's failed to take it, Mulu. And with 20 minutes left, we're starting to lose a little bit of hope, although Bouchard set piece in. Cleared away, but Bouchard, can he get a second ball of quality? He can. Back post. Mulu at the back post. It's 2-1 now. Things might just be a little bit interesting. Let's tell Mora to go on attack. Let's change Bouchard to an advanced playmaker on support. I'm going to move Taquez to a deep-lying midfielder on support, and then we're going to tell Villalba and Graphite just to kind of get up the pitch because we have to. Let's go with that. Let's throw some men forward here. We're probably going to be leaving ourselves exposed at the back. We kind of know that's a problem. But we've got, well, 5 minutes now to try and make something happen. Let's switch to overload. It never makes a difference. Can it make a difference today? It might do, but at the wrong end. The ball in. Del Sol, has he just scored against us or has it been given as an own goal? You traitor. You absolute traitor. I made you the player you are. No football club wanted you. I found you. I reared you like a stray animal as my own, and you've just scored against me in the Champions League. It's like a dagger through my heart. It's like a dagger through my heart. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. As long as he doesn't score again, as he almost did there. Going to finish 3-1 here. We have lost against the old lady. It's not a great result, but it was okay. It was okay to only lose 3-1. You know, we went really toe to toe with them. Unfortunately, it was our finishing at the end of the day that really cost us here. Either way, next episode, in fact, do we want to do it this episode? We are taking on Zenit today. They are currently rock bottom of the group. And if we look at our Champions League group, you can see that we are currently in second on 7 points. Feyenoord on 4 points, Zenit on 1 point. If we win the game today and Juventus beat Feyenoord, we will be in the next stage of the competition, which will be a great achievement to get to the knockout stage again. So hopefully we can achieve that as a kind of a minimum achievement. Of course, if we lose today and Feyenoord get a half-decent result, it does leave things a little bit interesting going into the final game. But I'm hoping we can come up with a good performance. Of course, we did beat Zenit 4-0 in the previous match against them. Just in another little bit of Champions League news, just a little bit of an update. Gibraltar Lions are second in their group. I feel like the world is about to end. You know, it's like a series of unlikely events are just unfolding around us, and there's going to be a black hole that emerges and sucks us all in. I don't know where I'm going with this. Basically, this shouldn't happen in any reality, but it is. Look at their fixtures. I was looking at this. They have beaten Celtic, which we actually already knew about. They then lost to Napoli 1-0. Now, bear in mind, Napoli we played last year, and we lost to them 3-1 on aggregate in the Europa League second knockout round. So to only lose to them 1-0 away from home, pretty good achievement for them. They then lost to Galatasaray 2-0 away from home, but they followed that up with a home win against Galatasaray, and they have 2 games left at home against Napoli and away against Celtic. So there is a chance that, Gibraltar Lions are going to be either get into the Europa League knockout stages or maybe, just maybe, the Champions League knockout stage. I feel like either one of those options would be absolutely unreal. Either way, let's get into our own game here today. We're going to be taking on Zenit, as I mentioned. In terms of the team, players are coming back to full fitness, which is really nice. The only change we have is Jason Hall coming in for Villalba. With the exception of that, and Pereira coming in over Mraz, it's pretty much what I thought was going to be our strongest team at the start of the year. So I'm hoping for a good performance here. We know his condition isn't 100% on all the players. Jason Hall's struggling a little bit for match sharpness, but he should be okay today. And yeah, I'm hoping for, of course, a good start to this episode, and hopefully we can, wrap up our Champions League campaign right here and now. That's the dream. That is the ideal scenario. Unfortunately, it's very rare things work out, in the ideal scenario in Football Manager, so we will just have to kind of take things as we go. Either way, let's submit our team for this game. Jason Hall struggling for match fitness. We already know about that. Since the last episode, there was a few league games. We won them both, which was particularly pleasing. The most memorable being a 3-0 win against Lincoln Redhams. I believe it was 3-0. We won one game. I'm now doubting myself. Either way, we won both our games. You guys don't care too much about the league, I don't feel like, at this point. Either way, let's see what we can do here. Going to try and encourage the players. Got a fairly good reaction out of them. Hopefully we can carry that forward into this knockout stage game, get the result that we need, and, do this nice and kind of easily. Nothing would be worse, really, in this situation than somehow bottling the Champions League group stage and crashing out. If we were to lose this and Feyenoord win, it does mean that it would go down to our final game, and having beaten Feyenoord 3-2 in the first meeting between the teams, we would have the kind of away goal advantage, but at the same, I think was that game away? I'm now doubting myself. It wasn't away, actually. So actually Feyenoord have a little bit of an away goal advantage if it comes to that. Of course, I don't want it to come to that. I'm hoping we can get a good performance here. Looking at the stats, though, there's been 40 minutes gone. We've not had a shot on target. It's been an underwhelming game. Neither team has threatened at all. And, well, I really hope Feyenoord win, because if this is the only match of this episode, it's going to be an underwhelming one if the second half is anything like this half. That is absolutely awful, boys. Far from pleased. A draw here would be good enough, of course, if Feyenoord lose. That's worth considering. That said, really, we want to beat Zenit again, particularly at home. We want to give the fans something to shout about. Could we score from kickoff? Graphite whips it in. Of course, we have got two pretty tall players in Helic and Elmo up front. I didn't quite realise how tall Elmo is. He's actually 198 centimetres, which is about 6'6", 6'5", which is absolutely ludicrously tall. So he's a little bit like Mustafa in a lot of ways, but in this game, I tell you what, we've never had a game, I don't think, in this episode and in this series where there's just not been a highlight for the entire game. With 20 minutes left, I'm getting a little bit worried. Let's make some changes in this game. Let's bring it in Mora for JJ. I'm also going to take off Elmo and bring in Nick Austin. And actually, I'm going to move Helic to advance forward and bring in Austin. The other changes we'll go with. There's 15 minutes left in this game. I don't recall ever, in the history of my series, ever having a game with no highlights. And we have got a highlight. Panic over Austin. Can it be a goal as well? Graphite whips it. Oh, what is just... I mean, it's a weird goal. It's a very weird goal. It's an own goal. We're winning 1-0. And this is a little bit odd. A little bit odd. I kind of look forward to watching this play out, if I'm honest. It's not a classic. Not a classic. I mean, what has happened? A player has cleared it. He's then kicked it at his own defender. It's gone back towards goal and another defender has headed it in. I mean, it's a great goal for us. Bouchard getting an injury, we'll take him off attackers. I mean, if this now finishes 1-0, it is the most underwhelming episode ever, and as compensation, I might even merge it with the previous episode. So if you've watched this game, and you've been confused as to the kind of transition between the two episodes, well, now you know. This was originally a second episode. It's been that awful, I am just going to bung it with the previous one. And if there's any confusion, and hopefully by the time you've got to this point in the video, you now understand what has happened. Yeah, 1-0, underwhelming, but we will go through because Feyenoord, as you can see, they're lost. We will just quickly continue on one more day, just because I want to see how Gibraltar Lions get on. They are going to be taking on Celtic, of course. It's on this Wednesday game, so we'll see how they get on in their game. But yeah, I think this is going to conclude our group stage for now. How are Gibraltar Lions going to get on against Celtic? That is the mystery. Drum roll, please. Ooh. They'll probably get thumped like 4-0. That's my prediction. 6-0. Okay, well that's underwhelming for them. Where does that see them sit in the group now? I think they're going to finish third now in the group more than likely. Yeah, it looks like they will do because both Celtic and Napoli have qualified. They've still got one game against Galatasaray. But even if they could reach the Europa League knockout stages, that'd be a pretty good achievement for them. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed this episode, which is technically, I guess, episode 114, even though I introduced this section as episode 115. 2 for the price of 1 today. Yeah, I mean, I feel a bit weird because I've already done an outro for the Juventus game that you've seen earlier. So thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed, leave a like. I'm not sure how I'm going to edit these 2 episodes together, but we'll go with the flow. 7 minutes is not long enough for an episode as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully I'll see you guys for the knockout stage regardless. And yeah, other than that, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.